Coming up on CTV News tonight, a scathing report about clergy child sex abuse is set to be released. We have reaction from a survivor next.
How you can sit there and justify somebody pimping out a 14-year-old girl and then put that same priest in an all-girls high school. There is no excuse for that.
Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, the Maryland Attorney General's office receives preliminary permission to release its redacted report into the history of child sex abuse at the Archdiocese of Baltimore. More than 600 witnesses were interviewed for the report, likely only a small portion of those victims who were abused. Prior to release, the office had to eliminate specific reference to 60 individuals and redact the names of 37 others. Now, Attorney General Anthony Brown says the office is pleased with the court order and will work to release the report as expeditiously as possible. David Lorenz is a survivor of childhood sex abuse by a clergy member. He now heads the Maryland office of SNAP, or Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests. He's anxiously awaiting release of the report.
It will reveal the absolute depravity of the sexual abuse that took place within the Catholic Church. There's no doubt about that. It will be a pretty rough report to read. I know some of the stories on these people, and you got to start wondering, okay, we might have depraved priests who do ritualistic, sadistic, sexual acts against a child. But you've got to wonder what was going through the mind of a bishop who said, yeah, I know he's doing that, but it's more important that I cover this up, or that I keep this priest in place and that there's no harm done to the church. So they covered it up. Not only that, they enabled it. Lori, the Bishop of Baltimore, has said, we've changed. But we're going to learn about these things because of subpoenaed documents from the church, which means Lori knew about these things before the subpoena was in place, before these documents. He knew it, and he claims transparency. If he's transparent, these documents should have been put out for people to see, but he never did.
Now, David Lorenz says he hopes the Attorney General's office is able to continue investigating the 2 other archdioceses in Maryland, including the one that serves the D.C. area. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks today unveiled her proposed budget for fiscal year 2024. Her spending decisions had many challenges because of the heavy cost of the Kerwin education requirement. It's a $5.4 billion spending plan, and about 62% has been set aside for schools. The proposal also includes close to 20% for public safety. Meantime, Alsobrooks says the investment in projects like the Blue Line Corridor will be critical in growing the county's commercial tax base.
So these are happening right now. We're so grateful for the investment that the state made of the $400 million that helps us along the Blue Line Corridor. We've gotten investments from the federal government to help us grow our efforts at New Carrollton. We're working now with the state to make an investment at Cheverly. So these are happening now as we speak. We're already seeing some of our commercial taxes grow, but we have to do much more. That's really where we are.
And the new fiscal year begins on July 1st. Well, efforts to make the county's roads safer continue. County Council member Walla Blagay, along with police and the Department of Public Works and Transportation, are holding a town hall meeting. They want to hear from residents about road safety. The meeting is this Friday. It comes in the wake of the crash last week on Ritchie Marlboro Road that killed a Wise High School student.
It is going to be focused on Ritchie Marlboro, but I will tell you this. We do want other people to bring concerns. Some of the things that I've been telling Department of Public Works is that this issue is not just Ritchie Marlboro, it's all over my district. I look at Westphalia Road and DRC and seeing the problems there. So we do encourage people to come and talk about other areas, but there is going to be a whole discussion about the Ritchie Marlboro Road and what we can do temporarily.
And the meeting is set for Friday at 6 p.m. at the Wise High School gym in the 1200 block of Brook Lane in Upper Marlboro. Maryland State Police issue a warning tonight about an ongoing phone scam. Officials say scammers are calling residents impersonating police officers. State Police say they're asking for financial information or donations to a law enforcement charity. Maryland State Police urge you to be cautious about unsolicited calls. They emphasize that they will never call asking for money. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Everyone likes rooting for their favorite team with some friends. But if you plan on drinking, don't drive. Designate a sober driver or schedule a rideshare for a safe ride home. Be the make a plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives.
Welcome back. Well, we now know the name of the person killed in a multi-vehicle crash on a highway in Beltsville yesterday morning. He has been identified as Delando Woody of New Jersey. The crash occurred on I-95 near Route 212. Police say a Dodge Charger crashed into a truck, then crossed a median and struck a tractor trailer driven by the victim. Anyone with information on the crash is asked to contact Maryland State Police at 301-689-8100. Well, bullets fly at an apartment complex in Suitland, injuring 2 people. It happened just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Sussex Square Apartments on Brooks Drive. Investigators say a female victim was found with serious injuries from a gunshot inside the apartment building and taken to a nearby hospital. The male victim ran to nearby Suitland High School for help and was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Maryland Senate passes gun safety legislation in response to a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that struck down New York's concealed carry permitting law. The Gun Safety Act of 2023 establishes a list of sensitive areas where guns may not be carried, including public demonstrations, as well as bars and restaurants serving alcohol. It also prohibits concealed carry guns in government buildings, schools, and polling places. The manhunt continues for Roy McGrath, the former chief of staff to ex-Governor Larry Hogan. U.S. Marshals have put out wanted posters for the 53-year-old who is now considered a fugitive after failing to show up Monday for his federal fraud trial in Baltimore. Law enforcement descended on his Florida home Tuesday morning, reportedly questioning McGrath's wife about his whereabouts. McGrath faces 5 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of theft, and 1 count of falsifying records in federal court. A free health fair and seminar is set for this Saturday in our area. The event features Nathaniel Jordan, a.k.a. the Minister of Wellness, and it's hosted by Rock Newman. There will be free diabetes, blood pressure, and other screenings. Attendees will be offered healthy food options, everything you need to get your healthy lifestyle on track.
Honored to have the medical examiner for Washington, D.C., Dr. Roger Mitchell, and he will have a mini clinic set up. So we will have testing for you to come in. Again, everything is absolutely free. We have the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. They will also be there. We have delicious food, a delicious food vendor, Dr. Ruby Lathan, who will be in attendance with some great food. So come out, know your numbers, enjoy healthy food that will actually help you to be healthier, so you won't come to the health fair and then your diabetes is high and then you eat something that'll shoot it up higher. So everything is revolved around coming out, learning about your health, enjoying good food, communication. Then, of course, Brother Rock Newman, DC legend, he will be the host of the health fair, and I will be delivering a very, very important uncensored keynote message.
And the event is this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. at Union Temple Baptist Church. It's located at 1225 W Street in in Southeast DC. It's free, but you must RSVP at theministerofwellness.com or call 888-847-8026. Still to come here, our Wednesday sports page report that's coming up with Simon Buggs. Stay with us.
Hey guys, it's Simon Buggs, and coming up, I have a packed sports page for you today. The results of the PGCTV men's baseball games that were played yesterday, the Wizards blowout game against the Pistons, a head coach at Coppin State being relieved of his duties, the Caps fall against the Rangers, and another member of the Commanders finding a new home for next season. Stay tuned.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Well, it is now time to meet your pet of the week.
Male bearded collie mix, we think. He came in as a stray. He's been here since March 6th. We are guessing he's about 5 years old. He's super friendly. We think that he would probably do best in calm home. We're having an adoption event called March Madness, in where all dogs that are over 40 pounds, we're waiving the adoption fee. So what adopters are paying for is just the $125 to cover the surgery.
And if you would like to adopt Wilson or any other animal, you can call 301-780-7200.
The PGCTV men's baseball team matched up against the College of Southern Maryland yesterday, splitting the two games. The Owls won the first game 16-2, but couldn't win again as they were beaten 14-4. The Owls have not gotten off to the best start of the season as they are currently 2-5. They will try to put together some wins next Tuesday as they host Hartford Community College for a doubleheader. Switching to the NBA, the Wizards took the court last night, blowing out the Detroit Pistons 117-97. A big reason for the Wizards' win was the efficient 36-point outing by shooting guard Bradley Beal.
Just being aggressive. I always credit my teammates for moving, setting screens, and just being active. And the ball was moving around. We were just playing for each other. And I think the biggest thing is defensively. We were engaged, locked in, and I know it's last 14. When we're supposed to make a push, it starts with me. So I just make sure I try to set the tone on either end of the floor and get guys shots, get us going as best as we can.
Sticking with basketball, Juan Dixon, the men's basketball coach for Coppin State, has been relieved of his duties. Dixon served as the Eagles head coach for 6 seasons and compiled a 51-131 record over that span. Now for some NHL news, the Capitals took the ice last night but lost to the New York Rangers 5-3. The Caps would start the match off slow as they wouldn't score until late in the first period. They would trail at the end of the period 3-1. The Caps' next game will be against the Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7 o'clock. And finally, linebacker Cole Holcomb will not be returning to the Commanders next season. He and the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to a 3-year deal. Holcomb was a 4-year starter in Washington and was in the middle of a career season last year until it was cut short due to a foot injury. In the 50 games he played for the Commanders, Holcomb recorded 4.5 sacks, 239 solo tackles, and 5 forced fumbles. And that is your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
And that's CTV News for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.